Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is going to be from Monday the 22nd through the 28th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information. All right, so this week, Taurus, things kick off with a full moon on Monday, and this is going to be in your fourth house. And there's actually a lot of energy for you guys right now at the moment with the sun up at the top of your chart. I think there's a lot of focus on the career, maybe the productive things right now, which is great. But now it's really illuminating the opposite side here. And so with all full moons, it's all about integration, right? It's all about finding the balance of this polarity, the seemingly, polarity, which right here with your focus, I think more on the productive big picture things, there's now this awareness or this culmination of a lot of the things that you have been involved with, particularly over the past 6 months, involving home or family or your roots, your sentiments in life, maybe even your health. So a lot of you guys are at a high point with a lot of these areas, specifically if you started something regarding fourth house matters. But at the very least, you're all having this awareness of the emotional body, the awareness of what your sentiments are, what's emotionally meaningful to you. Maybe a very strong reflection on your past, in fact, and there could be a lot of insight coming in about that. So it's great to reflect on that, but again, the energies are high during the full moon, so it's more about integration, it's more about taking action. So feeling that, more internal nature, but then actually living it, embodying it, and applying that, moving that energy forward into the different areas of your life is really what's being symbolized here. Now, it's a spiritual full moon. It's going to be opposing up to Neptune, and the sun's going to go over Neptune over the weekend. So, off and on in going throughout the week, there's this spiritual balance and spiritual integration. And it's all specifically about this integration regarding these ideals that perhaps you've had over the past many years involving your career or your productive things or whatever it is that you might be involved with up here. So it's having that same faith and trust that I think you've naturally been developing, that compassion, wanting to give and share maybe through your work or career, and really do things because it's, is meaningful to you. It provides that soul food. So while doing that, it's about, at least on Monday in particular, it's about balancing that with the emotional body, being receptive, being open to the emotional aspects of your life and your roots in life. And in that way, you help integrate and what can be a very spiritually unlocking type of full moon. Now, as we approach the weekend with the sun going over that Neptune, there is going to be that more, they're both illuminating, but here the illumination is really in terms of the spiritual side of your career. Now, this does happen once a year, but this is important. Every year there's been this new insight, spiritual insight about your ideals with career, about giving, sharing. It's a very empathic conjunction. When the sun goes over Neptune like that, we're very sensitive to the concerns of others, so it can be very giving. Maybe a lot of you might be giving a lot through your career and finding that kind of satisfaction with that. But whatever it is, over the weekend, more insight regarding that soul food. What is really spiritually meaningful to you in that career. Now, we do have a few aspects this week. Jupiter opposing up to Chiron here on Tuesday, going exact. And this has been ongoing since the early part of November of last year. And it's specifically involving some sort of healing that we're doing about our worldview. Right now, you've got Jupiter transiting your fourth house. So there's a lot of this sort of opportunity for you to connect with the emotional body, to connect with home and family and your health, and to learn more about these different areas of life. In fact, this is a big shifting point for you this year because the North Node's going into the sector. But with Chiron in particular, there might be some wounds around it. There might be some healing that's needing to take place with that. And with Jupiter retrograde, it's really about going within and doing that internal reflection. And I think just being open to learning, just straight up on Tuesday, will help that energy move forward, help the healing just sort of take place. Now, it's a very collective thing, and it might be personal for some of you, and for some of you, it might be deep. Jupiter does rule your 8th house, okay? And it could also be some healing maybe you're doing with the community stuff or with your ideals in life, since Jupiter rules that 11th. So it's all about learning with Chiron, because Chiron became the healer through learning. And so the more open you are to understanding this worldview, understanding more about yourself on that deeper level, that healing will just naturally transpire. And then as a result, you actually could find, as you go through the rest of the week, it could be quite rejuvenating in terms of that outlook. Okay. Now, as we go into the middle part of the week here on Wednesday and Thursday, Mercury is going to be sextiling up to Saturn. So this is a good grounded energy for the week, especially on the daily productive side of things with Mercury and Capricorn. And so here for you, though, you've been, I think, more thinking about lately the big picture. You know, you've got Mercury and Venus, your ruler, in that 9th house. So there's this, perspective of the big picture, maybe about the life path, maybe the adventurous aspects of life, philosophy, spirituality, perhaps for some of you. And a lot of that's quite enjoyable right now. But there's a lot of things too that you're understanding and you're learning about philosophy or astrology or spiritual things. And this could be an excellent week for a lot of that stuff. Even connecting to nature. Anything that taps into that adventurous spirit, I think, can really help ground you with that sextile from Saturn, and it could be quite productive in a sense also. Now, as we go into Friday, Mercury will then be sextiling up to Uranus, so there's that freedom. Okay, so this is usually a change up to the routine. So with this, Uranus in the 11th house is that there's been a lot of changes, I think, with your ideals over the past many years. Maybe a lot of changes with group or community sort of thing. So it could be a great week for trying something new, trying something different with groups, with the community, with your ideals. Maybe something progressive or whatnot can be quite exciting. Now, these sextiles are just sort of openings. It's not a given, but there's something there that could open up, that could allow for that. Then, like I said, over the weekend, the sun does conjoin up to Neptune. So that's that spiritual, reflective nature, where there could be a very strong connection to what you're doing, perhaps with your legacy, with your work, your career, those kinds of things, and really accessing that true spiritual, emotional spark that is really transforming your career at the moment. All right, Taurus, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.